I'll tell you what, folks, I was listening to something earlier on that there YouTube. It may well have been on the United stand. I think it was, to be honest with you. And they were talking about the merits of maybe in January losing KOBBIE MAINOO and ZIRKZEE. Maybe as loans, maybe as permanent transfers. Whether it would work or not for United, whether it would work or not for Amarin, and worthy to lose them. Would they bring replacements in, and who might they be? And all I'll say is this, I mean, if they go in January, I'd be gutted to see them both go, especially MAINOO. I'm sure they can both do a job for us, but they are getting no playing time. There is a World Cup coming up and they do both want to get there. And I'm not so sure either are saying they want to go permanently. So maybe a loan elsewhere and see what they can do and to get some game time isn't going to hurt us. And maybe if we do decide ultimately to get rid of them, it will only pump up the prices anyway. If they excel wherever they play, it can only be a good thing. But I'm thinking to myself, look, if they get loaned out, as long as we do get a couple of replacements in, and then look at the merits of keeping them at the end of the year, the two that loaned out, that'll do me short term, but I don't want to lose them, and I definitely do want to replace. I mean, it's weird, we played Liverpool the other week, and by the way, I heard a stat today, they can not you bamboozle you with these folks, because you get stats coming out years nowadays. But I think they say in Liverpool's recent run is the worst run of any team in the top 5 leagues. And you think to yourself, oh my goodness, they won the biggest prize of all last year and won it at a canter. And now, over the last 4 weeks, they've got the worst run in 5 leagues. Who could have ever seen that coming? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. You've even got people calling for Slot's head. Now, I do think, I'm digressing it, I know. I do think he got an easy run of it last year. I think Arsenal fell off and City didn't perform as they can. And I think he inherited a great team and a great squad from Klopp. And I don't think he had a lot to do. We're going to hear more about him this year and see more. But I still would have expected, on the back of a win like that, and with the strength and money they put into the squad this year, although we know people tend to need time to gel, I would still have thought they'd have set off like an house on fire. Yes, they set off well. They had lots of points to start with, but they weren't playing well. They've not played well all year. The latest run has just really, really shone a light onto that. But your man Slot needs to earn his money now. There's no doubt about it. But going back to United and who they may or may not lose in January at the end of the season, it's really weird. I mean, I brought up Liverpool for a reason. We played Liverpool the other week and, as you now know, we won, which was fantastic. But it's really strange. I was looking at the bench for both teams before the game started and I thought to myself, my God, I know we've been absolutely awful for years, and last year was a massive disappointment at the end, but I thought, you look at our bench now compared to their bench, and for me, our bench wasn't just stronger than theirs this year, but it was much, much, much stronger. Now, granted, there's 2 or 3 names on their bench that I don't know. They're probably fringe players just come in, and they might be world beaters. They do sign some great talent, Liverpool. They have done over the last 4 or 5 years, and they've got a couple of young players bubbling under, probably almost to the same level as some of the City players. Because when them young players come in for City, you don't notice the young players, they're just coming in. They normally play above themselves. They play really well. Liverpool have probably got some of those as well. But I looked at the benches and I thought, on the field, starting 11, they're still miles in front of us. They've not played like it this year, but they're miles in front of us. You look at that United-Liverpool game earlier on this year, and the better team 1-11, without a shadow of a doubt, was Liverpool. It wasn't us. But you look at our bench, if you get a chance, go back and have a look. Go and have a look at the squads that day, and our bench, miles stronger than theirs. And I'm thinking to myself, do I want to lose MAINOO and ZIRKZEE off that bench? I don't. I really, really don't. For all they're not getting game time, I don't. So I do hope that if we do get rid of them in January, if they do go out on loan, I do hope they bring a couple of players into the same kind of level. I really, really do. Because keeping that bench strong is important in this day and age, especially at the times when... Is it 5 substitutes you can have on now? I think it's 5. That's a lot of substitutions. You don't want a weak bench. In fact, ours is that good. You've got the odd decent player, can't get on the bench. Look at the young boy from Arsenal, the young striker. Played a few games last year on the bench all the time, can't even get on the bench anymore. It's good for him because he's going away, he's going to refine himself and become a better player in the youth system and then come back to us a better player, an older, more mature. But then again, the time he spent on our bench last year and on the field would have done him no bad whatsoever. And now we can't make the bench. That's how strong it is. But no, we had a cracking bench against Liverpool. We really did. Don't want to lose that strength in depth. I just hope we can keep them all. So if we keep them all to the end of the year, and we can keep this run going and get in Europe. If we were in Europe, even if it's only in that crappy Europa League, and if we stayed longer next year in the Carabao Cup or whatever it's called nowadays, that gives you Zirkzees and your Mainoos, those that want to get in now, much, much, much more game time. Had we been in Europe this year and still been in the Carabao Cup, they'd have still had plenty of minutes. Plus, we'd have got more injuries probably, so they'd have had more minutes as starters on a Saturday or Sunday as well. You need that squad for that. The problem is at the moment we've just not got the games to facilitate the squad. But we will have. Next year I'm sure we will have. I hope we do anyway.